Good morning. We're live. And Jan has come in on time today. Welcome, Jan. It's so good to see you. See you getting around and being with us. That really makes me feel good to know you're getting well. And Joey is here from Escon Escondido, California. I can't speak this morning. I'm so sorry. Lisa's here from Sugarland. Monica from Durand, Illinois. Kathy is coming in from Long Island. We sure have a nice cross section of the country, don't we? We go all the way from California to Long Island, and there's Cactus Devon, Arizona, and then good morning, my friend Linda from New York. And all we need now is someone from Florida, and we will have the four borders of our US and A covered. Isn't that awesome? And we can all be here together and we can all talk together and we can all learn together. Lee, good morning from Indiana. So good to see you. I'm not sure how many of you who were here last night. It looks like all of you. And that really makes me feel good because you feel like the content is worth coming back for. So I appreciate that very much. This morning, we're going to work with spin and echo, and we're going to work with three of them. What I want you to notice is that they all have what I call the same neckline. Okay, here are the templates. They are made to go on a tag, but what I'm going to do here is show you what I mean by the same neckline. Okay, when I hold these together, and these are all at the same point at the bottom here. What you're going to see, I call it the crew neck, is here, here, and here. How well that they all nest together to make designs. And we're going to show you that this morning because these are so easy to use and they can be so pretty together. Some of the things that I came up with while I was playing, you can see the differences in the template that I used. This is just some monkeying around, of course. I'm going to do that. That's just typical of me. And look at how beautiful these come together. Now, when I was looking at this, I was thinking to myself, template, template, template. And then I thought, two-layer template. Okay, I'm getting a little wild here, but I just think it'd be gorgeous. And I can't wait to see what you all do with these templates. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set these guys aside for now. And we're going to start with Echo 11. I'm going to keep myself in order here so I don't lose my place. This template is set to go from very far away, and that is template number 12. And what you're going to notice is if you get on 12 with a 16-point crosshair, you're going to need to go from here to here, which is between our crosshairs. If you try to go crosshair to crosshair, what you'll notice is the template doesn't go that far. Okay. Oh, Kathy, this is perfect template for spider webs. Yes. Good morning, Di. And Joyce is here from Mesa. Good morning, Joyce. Oh, Linda Lombardo snuck in, my Michigander friend. Okay. So what you could do is one of two things, not go out that far, which is not what I would recommend. The other thing is put 32 reference lines in there. Now, People get scared when you say 32 reference lines, but you know what? It is absolutely no different than 16. It's just double that. And I gotta get my camera adjusted here. And what that's going to do is that is going to make for an absolutely lovely spider web, Kathy. Yeah, you can do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this rather close in. And that's the other thing that I really, really like about these templates. We can come close or we can come far. And it's going to be the same method every time. So if I want to go with a 4-inch, I can come and go from here to here, turn my template, and I'm right back where I began. Okay. And that's how we're going to start this morning. I have 16 reference lines, and I'll hold it this way because I know that way is easier for y'all to see. But I have to make sure I don't run into the pin in the back. Okay. So far, too, guys, I am absolutely loving my new foot. I am so happy with it. And it's standing up to all the abuse that I can give it. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I don't abuse it. I don't baby it either. It has to work for me. Let's see what. Ah, Teresa, bonjour. So nice to see you this morning. And Di. Oh, okay, Di's going to be going to Mesa. Yeah, the triple digit weather. Absolutely. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get onto my. And Teresa, I will try to learn a few French phrases for you, okay? I know that what's really funny is I know certain things in many languages, like how to say hello, goodbye, and excuse me, but that's about it, other than Spanish. Okay, so we're going to take that first stitch in place, and we're going to start at reference line 16. We're going to cross over 1, and we're going to end at 2. Now I'm going to get rid of this extra thread. This one is easy to do. You don't have to go inside of anything. There we go. Now I'm going to twist my template, and it stops automatically when my center line is on reference line number 3. We are going to stitch from number 2 to number 4. Number 3 will be our center point. Okay, I've got to ask you guys. Oh, look at that. I got it right off. There we go. I'm not sure if any of you guys out there dream about ruler work, but last night I dreamt about ruler work. Okay, so what I'm going to do to avoid that, because this is something we can all can agree on. Sometimes our templates slip. And it's usually because of the way we hold them. I know what I was doing was the way I was holding it. What I need to do, what I need for me to do, what works better is just lay my left hand on the template and keep it steady, but don't push down on it. You don't want to have a death grip on these guys. You don't need it. And then I try to put my thumb right here, my opposite thumb, and just glide around the side of that template. Come to the next reference line, stop and turn. And this time we are going to be here. And I came out just a stitch too far. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to worry about that in the grand scheme of things. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. And there we go. Now, it's always best if you can turn things as you're working, but that doesn't always present itself. So it's good idea to learn to stitch in different directions. So from this point forward, you'll see I am not rotating the fabric. I am only rotating the template. And you'll see how my hand changes as I work around the template. I'm using two hands instead of one. And here we are back at the beginning. Now, I'll bet that was a lot easier than you thought it would be, right? Okay, I'm going to break thread. I prefer to break thread between rounds. I call them rounds, whether that's appropriate or not, I don't know. It's just what I like to call it. Look at that. Isn't that adorable, guys? Uh, oh, hi, Pam. Pam is here from Maine, not the coast of Maine, the mountains of Maine. Good to see you, Pam. Mm. Oh, I'll tell you something. Giving up caffeine has not been easy, and I still sometimes revert back to it. Uh, Now, there's a couple different rotation or a couple different patterns, if you will, that we can take here. I'm going to start this one. I'm going to do the um, half of the fabric, and then I'm going to do something totally different in this half. So what I'm going to do this time is I am going to put my line. Let's do this first. I'm going to put my tack on the 5, and I'm going to put my center line at the tip of the previous rotation. So this time I am starting at 1. Okay. And like I said, I'm only going to do half of the block in this manner. We're going to do something totally different in the other half. Okay. Come down. Make sure that my center line is correct, and I've got to get a few of these wires out of the way. I have finally found, guys, that a wired headphone is what is going to work for us. I spent a lot of money working on different audio equipment, and turns out that the cheapest one works the best. Isn't that always the way? So, it is what it is. Okay, so here we go from number 1 to number 3 with our point of the previous rotation being on line number 2. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to just move that. And now, when I do things, I like to look at it from different vantage points. Okay. And one of the points that I like to look at it is strictly design. And I need to come this way just a sec, just a bit. There we go. Strictly from design. What's this design going to look like? Is this design one that's pretty easy to do? One that's easy to replicate? Is this design something that beginner and seasoned? Oops, I got caught here in something. Something that beginning and seasoned ruler work quilters could do? Oh, guys, look what I did. Oh, goodness. I stitched my cover. My We're gonna take that off. Oh, I have not done that before. That is just too funny. I wondered what was holding us back. It was getting stuck. Well, looks like I'm done with that cover for the day, right? Okay, let's go ahead and clean up this mess and come back. All right, there we go. I'm going to rip that out. We're going to start on reference line number 7. Okay, there we go. Well, you guys have seen me make a new blunder. Oh, I don't get upset over that stuff. It's really not worth getting upset about. It's piece of paper. It's okay. All right, so here we go again. And we're going to stop on this rotation because remember, we're only going halfway out. Okay, like this. Isn't that pretty, guys? This is so much fun. These templates, and I look at them a lot with Template in mind. I look at them, of course, with, where am I? I am just getting caught up here all over the place. I look at them strictly from a design perspective. And when I do that, a lot of times what I'll do is exactly what I'm doing here. I will only do half of the block. I just dropped all my templates. I will, poor dog, scared Tippy half to death. Okay, so here we go. This is how I can tell if I'm going to like it or not. So far, I'm not just liking this design, I'm loving this design. Debbie says more caffeine. Oh, you guys all have done that. This is something that's so good to know. Yeah, I always tell you guys, you see me at my best and at my worst. And I'm okay with that. I really am. So now I'm going to move this up. Remember, the first one was 4. The second one was 5. Now let's see what's going to happen if we go to 6. If we go to 6, what's going to happen is we're going to encroach on these points. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go up to 7. And that's going to give us a little more space than here. But that's okay. We're getting bigger. So the space can be bigger as well. Ow. I bet you all have done that too, right? Oh, goodness. Yeah, Deb, I need caffeine really bad. And who drinks coffee from morning till after dinner decided I shouldn't drink any more caffeine. I thought to myself, how fair is that? Right? But in all reality, I shouldn't. And I know that because my dear old heart doesn't like it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to our next reference line. We're on line number 1. We're going to go to 2. What I want you to notice is this curve here gets bigger each time we go around. Okay, so let's show you. And I think this is the last reference line we can use before we need a 32 point reference line. Okay, so we're going to come over. Now, I'm off just a little bit. And I know why, because I did let my template slip a little bit on the first rotation. Easy to fix, okay? I'm going to come down. I'm going to stop on that center. Now I'm going to make the correction and come up here to my line number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And again, I need a little correction. Not worrying about that. Easy to do. Come to the center. This is just like when we do our clamshells, guys. We're going to come to the center, needle down. Now we're going to make that correction, okay? And no one will be the wiser. And round we're going to go. Every one I'm needing to correct on. It's probably me. Down to center. And now we're going to come up to the line. And that will, we're going to go half of a design. Come down here. We're going to just smoosh a little bit. Technical word there, smoosh. And there we are. Okay. That is really beautiful, I think. What I'd like to do with this one, I think, would be to come in and put circles in each of these lines. A circle of circles. Let's go ahead. And I'll just draw it out so you can see it. What do you think of that? The circles and circles. I'm really liking how easy these templates are to use and how pretty they are, actually. The circles, Lee says, the circles make it look like a crown. You're absolutely right. It does look like a crown. I love it though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paste the link in here for our template 11. That's the one we are working with right now. And we can do everything we need to do with it just by using the number 11. But we're going to follow this little diagram that I did before, and I did number 11 and number 12 together. Now, sadly, I didn't write in the number of the hole that we should be using. So this is what we're going to do on this side. So I did a 4 there. I'm going to do a 5. That looks right, okay? And I'm going to stitch it in the same manner that I stitched the first one. So let's go ahead and try this. And remember, this is number 11. And pull that thread up. I think that thread is camera shy. It does not want to come up easily. Okay, stitch in place and off we go. We're going to come around and repeat. You see how everything is exactly where it needs to be. We go. Rotate again. And I got off just a bit. Just going to go one stitch further. There we go. And don't worry if you have to make small adjustments like that. Whoops, I wasn't going to go far enough on that one. Okay. And the last one here will be half of the rotation. That will bring us back to reference line number 1. Now, the reason that I'm kind of tying this off is I'm thinking that this will be a design square that I will keep. I really love these designs. I want to hang on to them. So when I go, now what did I do with these? Okay. You know what? Yeah, that Rex guy. So you're right. It does look like a dinosaur head. Okay, Lee has noticed that my new foot, I don't have to adjust as often as I go as I used to. I don't have to adjust it at all, Lee. It is really nice. Now, there's times that we're all going to need to make adjustments because our batting is not perfectly flat. It has little hills and valleys in it. And, it's just part of the process. It's okay. It is. And here we go. Okay, so now I've done with number 11, I've done hole number 4 and hole number 5. So now we're going to take number 6 out, or I'm sorry, we're going to take number 12 out. Okay, that is our next biggest one. Okay, this one goes with my, hey, I've got a, that's what it works. Yep. Okay, but I am going to need that again. So I'm going to pull out number 12. That is next. And what we're going to do is similar. No, we're going to keep going with the same. Yep. With the same directions. There we go. And I'm going to back it off to a number 6. Perfect. Okay, so this is line number 6. And I'm going to mark that down on my paper. If people were to look at my paper, they would go, yeah, she had a mental issue. Okay. I'm looking at this and something just is not adding up. I know exactly what it is. We have to start at the top portion. Okay. Something's not adding up here. I should have been more clear in my instructions that I made for myself. All right. Well, let's do it. What's the only thing that can happen? All right. Here we go. I'm putting it on our number 6 hole. And I'm not really sure what is going on. What I'm trying to do, what you'll see is we're going to, oh, right here I went 4 times instead of twice. So we're going to play with this, okay? We're going to play with this because I didn't do the first 2 over 4 reference lines. That's okay. We'll come up with something new. All right, here we go. Going to take that first stitch in place. Oh, cool. This is kind of cool. Okay. Get rid of those threads. Going to come in, squish a little. Came off of the template. I looked away. Okay. Here, we're going to do another one. You know, I'm not as wild about this one, but it does give kind of a cool shape here. Let's see, we're going to keep going along this one. Let's see what happens if we get all the way around. Come on. There we go. All the way up over here. And then we're going to come down over here. Okay, so that is kind of neat. I like that. I'm just going to travel up. Normally I would not do that, but I'm going to on this one. Now what I want to do is I want to make the points come here, and I want the loop or the bottom part to just graze there. So if I wanted to just graze there, it should be 1/4 of an inch beyond the template. That's not going to work, right? If we wanted to graze there. So our option is to have it do kind of a healthy amount between the two. But you'll notice if we put it on number 8, it is too small for the block that we're working on. So we would have to add another 16 reference lines in it. Okay. Let's see what would happen if we used our number 13. Okay. We're going to put number 13 on 8. And again, we need more reference points. We could come between and make those also. Although I would want those reference lines on there. So yeah, this one did not work out so well with only 16 reference lines. Here we go. But it's still a nice design. It really is. Although I got a little cattywampus over here. But okay. Hi, Kay. There we go. We got our Florida. Welcome, Kay. Now we have the north, the south, the east, and the west outermost points of the continuous 48 represented. That makes me feel good. I like that. Lee likes the little pleats. You know what? So do I. But what I'm kind of curious about is, and this is something I'm going to work on. How come I ended up with a little bigger point here, a little smaller one here, bigger one here, and smaller one there? It's just kind of one of those questions I'll ask myself, and then I will try to answer it. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what Jan says. I don't have any echo in my stash, but I think I need to add one or two later. I have my credit card under lock and key. Oh, Jan, you're a much better woman than me. Oh, Lisa, this demo is so very interesting. She has the spin and echo sampler set and struggles to figure out how to use them. Yeah, it's just a matter of playing. I really believe it is a matter of playing. And yes, the echo lines would work very well on this set. There is no doubt about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and change blocks. I'll get that one out of the way. Just throw it away like an old shoe, right? And then we're going to grab a new one. There we go. And we're not going to put the paper under it this time. Again, I like to put my tack through the front. If you don't want the tack to go through the fabric, that's fine. You can put it on a piece of tape and tape the top or tape it to the top of the block. I prefer to have it go through. It's totally personal preference. I just want to make sure that you understand when we put that tack through, it's not cutting the fibers, it's pushing them aside. So you're not going to have a hole in there. Okay? Just so you know. I think it's important to understand how these guys work. Okay, let's do number 13. Number 13 has a low cut neckline. Okay? We're going to work with the number 13 and then we're going to go backwards with it. And I also am going to fake another 16 reference lines, which means the tack got to go. I'll put it back in. So if you're just playing around like I am and you want to fake more reference lines, what you're going to do is just exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going through the center. I'm going to put it on the same line on both sides. And we're going to eyeball this. This is a practice square. Eyeballing it is fine. Okay. And want to make sure it goes through that center right here. That's the important part, I think. Because if you get it right through that center and you get it even on both sides, you're actually going to have a pretty even, even layout. But if we don't, and we have any failures, we can blame it on that. Certainly can't be me, right? Okay. And I'm just drawing those across the way there in case we do have time for that. Here we go. Whoops, going the wrong way. Wrong way, Corrigan. And Deb is smiling. She smiles every time I say wrong way, Corrigan. I love it. Okay. go. Okay, so there's 32. Let's just pull them out and be done with it, right, guys? You know, I always put 16 reference lines, not anticipating how many I'm going to use. I may use 8, I may use all 16. But in this case, I'm using 32. I did not anticipate that. That's okay. We're just going to see how, whoops, there we go. See how this is going to work out. I need to get some more lead going, pumping in my pencil here. I always caution people, if you're using a pencil like this, it doesn't matter the brand, it's going to happen with all of them. Don't get that lead out too far. It breaks easily and it's expensive. So you definitely don't want that lead to be breaking off as little as possible. Okay, now we're going to do this again and back in the same hole. There we go. See how easy? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of reference lines, isn't it? Oh, and look at how far we can go because we have all those reference lines. Okay, so we're going to start on 5. And the way we're going to start, whoops, there we go. We're going to start on reference line number 1. And the first one I'm going to put on number 6, not number 5. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to work this as if we have 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here. Well, no, I'm going to go from here to here. Here to here will give us 16 because we're going to do the whole block this time. We're not going to just do part of it. Okay. Now remember, this is our low cut. This is going to give us our deepest arc. And that's all these are, is arcs, guys. They just are arcs. And we all know somebody who loves arcs. One to one. There we go. Need to take one stitch further. This is going to be very flat to start with. Okay. Going to make the correction. You're almost not even going to be able to appreciate a peak here. And you'll see I'm off on this one. And some of that could be, most likely, is eyeballing the reference lines. But it's okay. It's a practice sandwich, right? We don't want to get all upset with ourselves. Oh, I know now the next thing. Di, that's a really good. Di says I always number my lines so I stay on track. That is such a good practice, and I'm guilty of not doing that. Okay. Right. There I go. Again, I'm going to go 3. I'm using 3 lines. I'm going to go ahead and just adjust it a little bit. And y'all know I'm not the fastest stitcher in the world here. We're only going to do half of this, or we'll be here all day watching me do these little lines, and I just went too far. I want to stay there, right? No, it was right the first time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop at our midway point. Now I'm gonna stitch up. I would not do that on a project, but this is a practice sandwich. Let's go to 7. Come on, yeah. There we go. So we're going to come back just a little bit. Now you're going to be able to appreciate the arc much better. So that's half. That's whole. Well, isn't that interesting? I go from there to there, and when I come around to here, I'm nowhere near lined up. Let's see what happens here. We're going to keep going. That probably was, yeah, that probably was my bad drawing of 16 rotations. You're going to see the arc is starting to present itself. Do that again. This will not happen when you have the lines drawn in properly. Okay? Just want you to know that. Don't forget to keep that needle down. Okay, so here we go with 2 rotations of number 13. Now let's start pulling the other guys back in, okay? What's going to happen if we go to number 6? That's not going to work. Okay, I need to get my foot out the way, guys. There we go. Number 6 is going to be the same, so we don't want to do that. Let's go to number 7, and this is my number 12 spinnacle. The further out you get, the easier these are to stitch. Just saying. Okay, need to go 1 stitch further. There we are. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. That's my mom used to say. All right. Yeah, and you'll see, you can tell that that one is way off. So I'm going to come down and I'm just going to move it a little bit as I go. There we go. If you have a needle up, needle down function, Now's the time to use it as I run out of bobbin thread. I haven't done that in a while, have I? Oh, Janice isn't here to remind me. So it's all your fault, Jan. Okay, so you see the difference. And let's go ahead and get another bobbin in here, which will only take a second. Janice is one of my students who always used to ask before we started class, you got a fresh bobbin in there? Because I was famous for playing bobbin roulette. My husband and I were born on the same day, just 1 year apart from each other. And she used to tell him, oh, it's bad enough I've got to put up with you at home. But then Kathy's personality and yours match. I got to put up with it when I go to quilting too. Oh, she was such a sweet girl. She really was. I miss her terribly. All right, Kathy. Oh, Debbie is here from Bloomington, Illinois. Welcome. Oh, Kathy Rodriguez is here too. Welcome, Kathy and Jean from Mount Vernon, Washington. Okay, Kathy says, I would like to remind everyone that clicking thumbs up under the video expresses the like for the video really helps with the algorithm that YouTube uses. I rarely see many likes. Kathy, thank you. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right there too. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but they do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paste a link um, to the number 12 template. Okay. And that's what we're going to work with next is the number 12. That's the one we're working with, number 12 template. And right. Or are we still working with number 13? No. Oh, we're working with number 11. Okay. How can you tell? Like, if you have to do what I just did, how can you tell which template you're working on? Actually, it's not really that hard. You can just go in and look at this, which is almost 1/4 It's not perfect, but there we go. So I'm going to come up here. And this is where I got off because I did a really poor job on my numbering system. So we're going to start right here. And I do have the proper rulers to make it. I just didn't do it before class because I didn't know for sure I'd need it. Okay. Normally, my daughter Sarah comes and makes me tons of quilt sandwiches at a time. Saves me a whole lot of time and effort, and I really appreciate her for that. There we go. And we're going to come one more time. And this one, we're going to do a half a rotation. And then we're going to come up. Remember, it's practice. I'm going to go up to 7. There we go. Yeah, let's go up to 8. This one is really looking poorly, and that's because of the line placement. Now, what you're going to notice is it's much easier on 32 reference lines than it is on 16 to fit all of these guys in, okay? If we were on just 8, I'm going to pull it around like this so you can see, I would have to come all the way up to this peak right here. Now, could that work? It could, but it's going to be a long way up. So let's go ahead and stitch it out just so we can say we did it. You're going to have to watch it on the top because it curves, okay? And let's go ahead and do it down here again and up to the top again. And there's the curve. Okay. I like it though. There we go. We're going to come all the way up and curve. Up and curve one more time. Whoops. Okay, and rather than doing a half a one, we're doing a whole one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down 1. Okay. I'm going to do this following the 32 reference lines. So I'm going to cut this top thread. I'm going to get my center. Whoops, get my center in the center. So we're going to make half whole. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to make sure that I was exactly where we wanted to be. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bring it, the smaller portion, halfway through the large one. Okay, or the peak through the shortest portion of the arc on top of it. Now it's going to meet up that those again. The deepest part of this arc will be above the highest part of these arcs. Sometimes just verbalizing it is difficult. Uh, okay, that's the top. So we're going to go all the way around. There we go. If we have to make any adjustments. And now we're going to come this way. I'm not sure, but I am really liking this. I'm not sure how it's going to look in the end, but we're going to go ahead and finish it anyway. There we go. Don't forget, you can draw these all out on paper first, which is what I like to do, and I encourage you to, okay? because paper's cheap, right? And then when you want to practice stitch it on a quilt sandwich, use old cheap fabric. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Linda. We've done 12, so now I want to make sure that we get number 13's link in here. Di, you're right. There are so many mandala designs that can be done with these. And whoops, my camera just fell over. So, yeah, there are a lot. And I like this. I really do. Even though it's not meant to do that, I like that curve way up at the top as well. Okay. So, what we looked at this morning, we're not going to have too lengthy a class this morning. I hate calling it a class. It's not a class, it's demonstration, right? It's a demo. We learned that the same template will be flatter the closer to the center we get, right? We also learned if you have an eye that's better than mine and you draw your 32 reference lines, you won't end up with a mess like this. It's a learning moment, right? It's a teaching moment, whatever you want to call it. But it does work nicely if you have all the lines lined up. And the other thing is you can still see the arc, but it isn't until you start getting it out farther that the arc is really more visible. And what I mean by that is if you look at it like this, you don't hardly see an arc there. But when you bring in additional arcs, now it's making sense here. This arc is the same arc, it's just longer. This is the same arc and just longer. And that's easy to determine because when you look at these, each of them is the same amount of space away. And then what we did was we went off and we used the opposite reference lines for making the peaks and the valleys of the art. It's okay. It's not my favorite. All right. Then we came to the very outer template, and this is what we got when we were just about ready to go off and not be able to go any longer. And this was done using 8 reference points as opposed, oh, I'm sorry, use 16 reference points as opposed to 32. So what would I do if I had this all the way around? What I would do, I would probably do some fill like this. And this is free motion fill. But if you're not used to free motion, you can easily do this by lining your 12-inch arc up, stitching to the bottom, and just swinging over to whatever dimension you want, 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch, whatever. Or you could go in here and add a line of pearls. Okay, I'm not adding them very nicely, but you get the idea. Good thing I sew better than I draw, huh? You could come in and do that. One of my favorites is this stitch here. It's I don't there's got to be a name for it, but I don't know what it is. And it's just a pretty stitch. It's easy, a pretty design. It's easy to do once you start doing it. And the nice thing about it is you've got all of these lines to keep you on track. Okay, so where you want to be and how you want that to look. So those are some of the things you can do. The other thing you can do, which I think would be gorgeous, is go ahead and take this row out and take this row out with template. You could even do 2 layers of template like we discussed earlier. So there's a lot that can be done with spin and echoes. The spin and echoes are easy, easy, easy templates to use. I absolutely love them. How many are there? Does this give me an idea of how many there are? That I don't know. I guess not. But it does give you some of the basic instruction that you will need. It tells you that you can use step 1, mark 16 reference line for an 8 rotation spin effect or spin and echo. 32 for 16 rotation spin and echo. So you need to double up those reference lines that we're putting in, okay? We also need to know that it's going to go on the pin. And if you're like me and you have a bad habit of putting your hand on the pin, you can take one of these pin moors. Let me see if I can find one without it. And you can stick it on there and you won't get your hand in there. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh my goodness. Lee. Oh, Linda, thank you. Wishbones. Is that? Yes, they're called wishbones. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Lee has not attempted Template yet. It's timely. And Kathy, yes, you're or die. I'm sorry. Curly Q would work nicely altering the direction. That would work just as well. I think we've had a good morning this morning. I hope you have. As always, I so much appreciate you letting me into your time. And I appreciate all the comments because you guys really you inspire me too. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Linda. And I will meet you here on Tuesday of next week. Donnell will be doing Monday next week. And if you have any needs, you want to contact me, sostay.com, the Elevate tab, and you would go under instructors. All of my contact information is available to you. And I don't mind at all if you use it. Debbie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So until we meet again, let's quilt.